I've decided to start a new life without you. The words sliced through the air of the upscale restaurant where we'd gathered to celebrate my daughter's college graduation. Gregory, my husband of 28 years, stood with his champagne glass still raised, hijacking the toast meant for Amelia. The clink of silverware stopped. Conversations froze mid-sentence. 50 pairs of eyes darted between us, waiting for my tears, my rage, my dramatic exit. Instead, I smiled. Congratulations on your honesty. My name is Bianca Caldwell. I'm 54, and until that moment, I'd played the role of perfect wife and mother flawlessly. I'd put my career on hold for Gregory, 3 business ventures, 2 career changes, countless finding himself phases. I'd raised our brilliant daughter, Amelia, who now sat frozen beside me, graduation cap still perched on her head. From the corner of my eye, I spotted Cassandra Wells, Gregory's much younger girlfriend, shifting in her seat at the back table, surrounded by people I had considered friends. Friends who apparently knew. Friends who had kept his secret. I reached into my handbag and placed a cream-colored envelope beside Gregory's plate. What's this? His smug expression flickered. Something for you to read later, I said evenly. I kissed Amelia's cheek. I am so proud of you, sweetheart. This day is still yours. Then I stood, smoothed my dress, and addressed the room. Please, enjoy your meal. Have a lovely afternoon. I walked out, head high, feeling every stare follow me. The heavy door swung shut behind me, cutting off the anxious murmurs. Outside, Augusta's summer heat wrapped around me. For the first time in years, I could breathe. The door slammed open behind me. Bianca. What the hell is this? What have you done? Gregory's voice was sharp now, stripped of confidence. I kept walking, a small smile tugging at my lips. The envelope contained the start of a plan I'd been crafting for months. While Gregory had been dreaming of a new life with Cassandra, I had been gathering evidence, financial transfers to a secret account, extravagant gifts, beachfront property searches. And the text messages, plans for the day after Amelia's graduation. What Gregory forgot was that I'm a finance professional with 30 years' experience. I know money trails. I also remember the prenup he once insisted on, complete with a fidelity clause that now spelled his ruin. By the time he made his announcement, my case was already airtight. Divorce papers filed. Assets documented. Attorneys ready. I didn't return to the restaurant. I drove home to the colonial house we'd shared for 15 years, the house Gregory had promised Cassandra in texts he thought I'd never see. Inside, I found his suitcases already packed. Predictable. Always careful with his shirts, careless with his future. Hours later, the front door slammed. Bianca, he barked, storming in, waving the papers. You served me with divorce papers today? On Amelia's graduation? I thought it aligned nicely with your plans, I said calmly. You wanted a new life. I'm just helping you transition. The prenup expired years ago, he smirked. Any lawyer will. I cut him off. You should really read page 4. Because in the fine print of that prenup, right under the fidelity clause, was a detail Gregory had never noticed: renewal upon infidelity. Signed. In his handwriting. I didn't need to raise my voice. He understood. And for the first time in years, I watched Gregory Caldwell run out of words. I allowed myself a small smile. Actually, it didn't expire. Section 12 clearly states the fidelity clause remains in effect for the duration of the marriage. Your lawyer should have told you that. Oh, wait, you didn't consult one, did you? The color drained from his face. The prenup he once demanded to protect his future wealth would now strip him of nearly everything: the house, the Savannah vacation property, his share of our retirement accounts. His dramatic restaurant announcement had just become the most expensive decision of his life. You can't do this to me, Gregory said, collapsing onto the couch. We built this life together, I replied. You chose to end it, just not in the way you planned. His phone buzzed in his pocket. He glanced at it, then ignored it. Cassandra, no doubt wondering why their careful plan was falling apart. You've always been calculating, Bianca. But this is cold. What about our history? 28 years means nothing? I studied the man I'd loved for nearly 3 decades, the one who'd held my hand through 2 miscarriages, who'd once surprised me with a weekend in Charleston. When had he changed? Or had he always been this way, and I had simply refused to see it? Our history means everything, I said quietly. That's why your betrayal cut so deep. His eyes softened. Then maybe we can fix this. I made a mistake. People make mistakes. This wasn't a mistake, Gregory. This was a year-long plan. You moved our money. You shopped for property with her. You planned a public humiliation. You're exaggerating. Am I? I tapped my phone and played his own recorded voice. After the graduation, I'll tell her it's over. A public setting is better, she won't make a scene. Then Cassandra's voice, and she has no idea about the money. Gregory again, none. Bianca trusts me completely. That's her weakness. His face turned ashen. You recorded me? That's illegal. Not in Georgia when one party consents, I said. And not in your own home. I didn't record your private moments with Cassandra. I'm not cruel. I only recorded the parts about defrauding me. He shot to his feet. I need to make some calls. Your attorney would be a good start, I said. I'll be staying at Diana's tonight. Diana's? Your sister's house, I nodded. She's upset with you, actually. She saw you and Cassandra together last Christmas. She confronted you first. You lied. When she realized nothing had changed, she told me. The shock on his face was almost satisfying. Everyone's betraying me, he muttered. Ironic, isn't it? I picked up my purse and overnight bag. You have until tomorrow evening to move your things. After that, the locks change. As I headed for the door, he called after me, what about Amelia? Have you thought about how this affects her? I turned, my calm finally cracking. Don't you dare use our daughter as a shield. You weren't thinking about her when you were planning your beachfront life with Cassandra. His phone buzzed again. He looked at it and groaned. Problem? I asked. Cassandra's at the apartment already. She's moved in. I smiled. The apartment in both your names? The one you leased last month? He nodded. You might want to call the leasing office. The application was flagged for credit issues and never finalized. The agent called the house to verify information. I handled it. I walked out, leaving him to face the first of many consequences. Diana's bungalow smelled faintly of lavender and old books. She met me at the door with a fierce hug. I'd just heard from Amelia. Are you okay? Better than I expected, I said, following her into the kitchen where a bottle of wine waited. I never thought Gregory would humiliate you in front of everyone, she said, pouring 2 glasses. That was the point. A public rejection so I'd be too shocked to fight back without looking unhinged. Diana's eyes darkened. My brothers always loved drama, but this is beyond anything I thought he was capable of. We settled in her sunroom, surrounded by potted ferns and walls lined with books. Diana had never married, she valued her independence, and at times I had envied her freedom. So, what was in that envelope that rattled him so badly, she asked. I told her, the divorce filing, the financial evidence, and the prenup that would leave him with far less than he'd imagined. Diana laughed bitterly. The prenup? I remember when he insisted on it to protect that money father gave him. The irony is delicious. My phone rang, Amelia. Mom, I'm coming over to Aunt Diana's, she said immediately. Dad's telling everyone you've lost your mind, that you've been planning this for months. He's saying awful things. Let him talk, I said. The truth will come out. 20 minutes later, Amelia arrived still in her graduation dress, makeup smudged from tears. She collapsed into my arms. Why didn't you tell me? I didn't want to ruin your last semester, I said. You worked so hard for this day. Well, Dad took care of ruining it. In Diana's living room, I told her everything, the affair, the money transfers, the beachfront plans. I knew something was off, Amelia admitted. He's been distant, always on his phone. But I didn't think. None of us want to see the truth about someone we love, Diana said gently. Then my phone buzzed with a text from my attorney. The emergency filing had been approved. The accounts I'd flagged were frozen. Gregory now had only minimal access to funds, just enough for living expenses. The rest was untouchable. I showed them the message. Good, Amelia said firmly. He deserves it. He's still your father, I reminded her. Your relationship with him is separate from what's between us. She shook her head. Maybe someday. But right now I can't even look at him, Amelia said, her voice shaking. He hugged me this morning, told me how proud he was, while planning to blow up our family just hours later. The doorbell cut through the moment. Diana went to answer it, returning with a troubled look. It's Gregory, she said. And he's not alone. I steadied myself as she led them in. Gregory's fury was written all over his face. Cassandra hovered behind him, shifting uncomfortably, eyes darting around the room. At 37, she wasn't the stereotype of a trophy wife, but 17 years younger than me, with glossy blonde hair and the easy confidence of someone who'd never faced true hardship. Bianca, you need to stop this insanity, Gregory snapped. Unfreeze the accounts. We can discuss this like reasonable adults. Amelia stood, moving slightly in front of me. Maybe you should have been reasonable before announcing to a room full of people that you were leaving Mom. Gregory blinked as if noticing her for the first time. Amelia, this doesn't involve you. Doesn't involve me? Her voice rose. You blew up our family on my graduation day, and it doesn't involve me? Cassandra touched his arm. Greg, maybe we should go. He shook her off. No. I'm not leaving until Bianca agrees to be rational. Diana crossed her arms. My sister-in-law seems to be the only rational one here. You're the one who made this mess, Gregory. I stayed seated, letting it play out. For years, I'd been the peacemaker, smoothing over every conflict. That job was over. The accounts will remain frozen until the preliminary hearing, I said evenly. 3 days from now. The judge will decide asset division then. 3 days? Gregory sputtered. What am I supposed to do until then? You have your personal account, the one you've been funneling money into for the past year. That should be sufficient. Cassandra's head snapped toward him. You have a separate account? With how much in it? The cracks were showing already. Clearly, he hadn't been honest with her either. Gregory ignored her. This is vindictive, Bianca. It's not like you. Then maybe you never really knew me, I said. Just like I never really knew you. Amelia turned to Cassandra. Did you know he was going to announce it like that, in front of everyone? Cassandra looked ashamed. I thought he'd speak to your mother privately. The announcement today was unexpected. Gregory shot her a look that could cut glass. Their united front was unraveling. I think you should both leave, Diana said firmly. You've upset Amelia enough. Amelia, Gregory pleaded, sometimes people grow apart. Relationships change. What I understand, she interrupted, is that you're a coward. You couldn't even give Mom the dignity of a private conversation. And you were stealing from us while I was working 2 jobs for my textbooks because you said money was tight. Gregory paled. That's not how. It's exactly how it was, she cut him off. Please leave, Dad. I can't look at you right now. The silence was suffocating. Finally, he turned toward the door, Cassandra trailing behind. At the threshold, he looked back. This isn't over, Bianca. I'll fight you on this. I met his gaze. You're welcome to try. After they left, Amelia collapsed beside me, tears spilling down her cheeks. I've never talked to Dad like that before. I wrapped my arm around her. Sometimes doing what's right hurts. Diana returned with fresh wine. To new beginnings, she said, raising her glass. Indeed, I thought. This was just the start. The preliminary hearing was held in a cramped courtroom on a rainy Tuesday morning. I arrived with Philip, my attorney. Gregory had a young associate from a corporate law firm, someone completely out of his depth in family matters. The judge, a sharp-eyed older woman, skimmed the prenuptial agreement. This document appears valid. Do you contest it? Gregory's lawyer cleared his throat. Your Honor, we believe it has expired. Section 18, the judge read aloud, states it remains in effect for the duration of the marriage and any legal proceedings arising from its dissolution. There is no expiration date. Gregory leaned forward to whisper urgently to his attorney, whose expression soured further. Furthermore, the judge continued, evidence of systematic fund transfers appears to violate the financial disclosure requirements in Section 23. I am ruling to keep the joint accounts frozen pending full discovery. Mr. Caldwell's personal account will remain accessible. The family home will remain in Mrs. Caldwell's possession under the infidelity clause. Gregory's face turned a mottled red. This is outrageous. Mr. Caldwell, the judge said coolly, I suggest you read the agreement you signed. As we left the courtroom, Gregory caught up to me. Bianca, please, 28 years has to count for something. It did, I said. Until you decided it didn't. I walked away, leaving him standing in the hallway, the weight of his choices finally pressing down. Word of the hearing spread quickly. Friends called daily, some to offer support, others tea. Sniff around for gossip. I maintained a dignified silence about the details, telling anyone who asked only, Gregory and I are separating. These things happen. Meanwhile, Gregory's carefully polished image, successful businessman, devoted husband, was cracking wide open. The financial freeze meant his promises to Cassandra evaporated. The beachfront property vanished. The luxury car deposit was refunded. 2 weeks after the hearing, Diana called, amusement in her voice. Have you heard the latest? Cassandra's gone. Already? I said, though the speed was the only surprise. She found out Gregory's business isn't what he claimed. And those substantial savings? They don't exist. She told Jennifer she didn't sign up for a man with financial problems. I laughed. Gregory had always been good at illusions. I, on the other hand, was rebuilding. My private savings, kept separate from our joint accounts, gave me a freedom Gregory never anticipated. I rented a small downtown office and launched the consultancy I'd dreamed of for years. My first clients were women navigating their own divorces. Soon, word of mouth brought more. I specialized in helping women understand and protect their finances during life's major upheavals, divorce, widowhood, career changes. It was more fulfilling than any corporate job I'd held. Amelia, working in Charleston, called often. I'm proud of you, Mom, she said. I'm just doing what I wish someone had done for me, I told her. The final divorce hearing fell on what would have been our 29th anniversary. Gregory arrived looking worn down. His business was faltering without my support. Cassandra was dating a real estate developer from Savannah. Most of our mutual friends had walked away after learning the truth. The judge upheld the prenup in full. Gregory left with his personal items, a struggling business, and barely enough money for a small apartment. I kept the house, my retirement, and 70% of our joint investments, exactly as the fidelity clause dictated. The irony was delicious. The document Gregory once insisted on to protect himself had been his undoing. As we left court, he approached me. I made a terrible mistake. Is there any chance we could? No, I said, gentle but firm. That door is closed. He nodded. I hope you find happiness, Bianca. You deserve it. It might have been the first honest thing he'd said in years. 6 months later, Caldwell Financial Transitions had outgrown its first office. I had 2 associates, a steady stream of clients, and a sense of purpose that had nothing to do with being Gregory's wife. Amelia visited one afternoon. You know what's ironic, she said. If Dad had just been honest, he might have kept half. Sometimes people can't see beyond what they want in the moment, I replied. The envelope I'd handed Gregory in that restaurant wasn't just an escape plan, it was the key to a door I hadn't known existed. Behind it, I didn't just find freedom. I found missile.